on this edition of Morning Right here on Delta Television, the People's Pride. Quickly, we'll run through our newspapers to just look at the headlines, analyze some of them, and that will be it this morning. I'll start with the Metrics newspaper. The Metrics says, has as major headline, Fresh Opera Trails Tinubu's Tax Laws. The writer says, airline industry cannot withstand additional burdens under new tax laws, says Unyema. Says new tax laws have brought back charges that 2020 tax laws removed. Atiku issues call for fresh passage, not re-gazetting of tax reform laws. That's the major headline there. Chizaina already talked about this. Some Nigerians, some stakeholders are of the opinion that the tax laws should be suspended. Aside from the fact that there were discrepancies alleged. It was alleged that there were discrepancies in the tax laws. I think, and some stakeholders think that modalities have not been put in place. They've not really looked at what the effect of these new tax laws will be on Nigerians. And here is the CEO of EPI still saying that there was a 2020 tax law that removed charges, and now if they implement this new tax policy, it will bring back those charges. And it will add additional burdens on the aviation industry and, of course, Nigerians. So that's the major headline there. At the top strip, we have CPPE, Nigeria's GDP projected to expand between 4.0% to 4.5% in 2026. Also have this headline that we talked about. Unaccounted 14 trillion naira fuel subsidy savings. Serap sues governors and Wike. Rather says residents in several states FCT continue to be denied access to basic public services. That's on page 8. That's on page 3, I think. Yeah, page 3 of the Metrics newspaper. And then this other one says fuel price war will benefit Nigeria, says NNPC Limited boss. All right, fuel price war would benefit Nigerians, says NPC Limited boss. But this headline that I know that Chizzy would love to comment on is here. Is at the bottom strip of the Matrix newspaper. The Matrix newspaper, please. Matrix newspaper says at the bottom strip it says, Ogala Bohaha, Pastor Okafor apologizes, kneels before congregation. That's the headline. Chizzy.
Well, this Pastor Okafor's issue, it has dragged and dragged. And yesterday he came out to say that he's sorry. Some of the things said were true, some of the things said were not true. It's just been a lot of drama. And then the wife has come out again this morning to say, oh, sorry does not cut it, sorry is not enough. He married me at the age of 18. I found out that he was already married before. And if we know our law, you know that you cannot be married legally and then marry another, marry on top of the wife again legally. It's criminal, and I don't know if there will be an end to this Okafor's story. And on social media, somebody said, oh, this is the actual Okafor's law that they talked about. If you watch that movie, Okafor's law, like this is the actual Okafor's law. And I just really think that this is a dent on Christianity. And it's even more embarrassing that till now people continue to flock his church. I also saw a video where he was telling his members that, oh, I have fought for you, things that would have been able to destroy your marriage, I didn't tell your spouse, so this is time for you to fight for me too and stand by me. And it's just such a joke to the Christian community. I know how I'm so big on not talking about pastors because I don't know the kind of spirit that you carry on the last day. We'll know who is who. But at the same time, I think that integrity, also requires that when you're wrong and when you have people who you are leading, courtesy demand that you step aside. People will even respect you more. Step aside, know that, oh, I've fallen out of grace. I'm no longer. Just step aside for investigations to be done, because this has caused a lot of dent in the Christian community, and a lot of people are saying, oh, Christians. But the truth is, it's not the religion, it's the person.
Yes, indeed. It is surprising that the Christian Association of Nigeria can they're yet to issue any statements relating to this issue.
It's even
but
a
they,
no.
but
Yes.
they came out to speak about Inyedo's movie,
Right.
A Very Dirty Christmas.
Yes.
They had issues with the title of the movie, but something as serious as this, a pastor leading a church that has large
Yes.
followers, large gatherings.
I have to say, yes.
Yesterday during service, you could see the crowd in the
Yes.
church. The
And you
Christian
could hear
Association of
people shouting,
Nigeria,
oh yes, Pastor,
they,
right?
yes, the CAN has not issued any statement. Like you said, it's a dent on the Christian community, on Christendom in Nigeria. And I think people should learn how to take accountability for their actions. The best thing that he should have done was to step aside for the meantime and call his accuser.
Yes.
Call her for a reconciliatory meeting.
Yeah.
Because at first she was arrested. Later on, you need her to beg. It means that
Yes.
some part of what
Yeah,
she's
some
saying is
truth
true.
there, yeah.
So this should be resolved, and it's very embarrassing to be in the public space.
Yeah, and
It should
I
be resolved
just
as soon
to
as possible.
and just to add to this, I think that CAN really need to do better, because I also remember when the story of the Crest Pastor also came out. I don't remember if CAN really said anything tangible or really condemned the act. So I really think that people CAN, needs to start seeing these situations as sensitive, and if you know that you don't want to address issues, then don't
You should
address
address
any issue
it.
at all.
You
should be
no,
addressed.
You should be addressed because they
Yes.
are everybody, the head of
Yes.
all churches in Nigeria.
Of course.
They should, because when you see, looking at our brothers, the Muslims, when something is done, even a comment online, they come out to comment on it. You don't
Right.
play with their religion.
Yes.
So we shouldn't play with Christianity as
Yes.
well.
Yes.
All right, let's move on from that story. The New Nigerian newspaper has as major headline, Insecurity, Most Dangerous Threat to Nigeria's Existence. PFN President Raises Alarm. Right, this is PFN is another body that should comment on what's happening,
Yes.
the issue between Pastor Chris and, of course, that actress,
Yes.
Doris. All right, so it says insecurity, most dangerous threat to Nigeria's existence. PFN President Raises Alarm. Rider says President Tinubu should intensify crackdown on terrorists, compromised security moles. Right, that's the major headline. We'll move on to the Punch newspaper. The Punch newspaper has its major headline, Federal government writes off $1.42 billion, 5.57 trillion naira NNPC debt.
Wow.
Presidential nod wipes off NNPC's legacy debt to Federation. NUPCR battles 5.65 trillion naira revenue gap. All right, I don't know. Okay, that's on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. I get details on this story. I don't know if some analysts would really agree with this, because NNPCL, Nigerian, the NNPCL has lots of issues, lots of questions that beg for answers, and there have been allegations of corruption in the NNPCL. So I don't know if writing off the debt to the Federation and the NNPCL, I don't know if it's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
But when we get our business analyst would analyze this headline. Let's move to the Daily Trust. Daily Trust has major headline there that says U.S. airstrikes, casualties likely in Sokoto. Well, you will need to read details of this, because during our interview we said no casualties have been recorded yet.
Yes.
But we'll need to get details on this to find out if there were indeed casualties during that U.S. airstrikes. Right, New Telegraph has its major headline, 2025 year of political upheavals. How Rivers emergency rule, ADC, defections, others shaped polity. Writer says, I'm learning politics from Tinubu, says you watch that. Okay, that's interesting to note. I am learning politics from Tinubu, says you watch that. Geez, I really don't know how 2027 will look like, but I think there's a new dynamic in our political space.
Yeah.
The first one was seeing.
It's just interesting to watch.
Oh yeah, very
Yes.
interesting. And
Yes.
we don't really know if the country will eventually turn to a one-party state. We don't know.
'Cause
But
that's
that
what
we've not
we
seen
like.
politics like this before,
We've
where
never.
the entire political structure in the state will move to a
one.
new political party.
Yes.
We've not seen this
Yeah.
done before. So
I think that could only mean one thing, that there's something about the kind of politics that our president plays. Maybe
so
it's
that's
a
why
special type
you
of
what that is
politics.
learning from
You
him.
also learn from him.
Okay,
Yes.
moving on to the Nation newspaper, we have Edun. Economy remains stable despite airstrikes in Sokoto. We hope so. We hope so, because we talked about the effect of the airstrikes in their communities, and the effect of the airstrikes on civilians. We do hope that normalcy has returned to that part of Sokoto state and everything is going on well. Still on this day newspaper, Edun is also speaking. Edun to investors, partners over US strikes. Nigeria not at war. Nigeria not at war. That's the words of Edun to investors and partners. But the Vanguard newspaper has as major headline, 2026, federal government, 34 states commit 93 trillion naira to tackle hardship. Okay, that's on page 5. Amen to that, and we really want to see how that money will be disbursed to all parts of the country and
being used judiciously.
Indeed. Okay, and then we have the riders to that particular headline says Lagos, Delta, Ogun, Enugu, Imo, Akwa Ibom emerge as top spenders. That's interesting to note, but let's see how that will go. All right, the Nigerian Tribune has as major headline, Nigeria not at war. Finance Ministry reassures investors. That's good. Reassurance is good, but then
we need to see.
Yes. We want to see the federal government making sure that the country is safe for investors to come and do their business. Because if we keep relying on the US, we keep waiting for the US to come and begin to strike down terrorist camps. It's not. If I was an investor, I don't think I would be moved to want to come to invest.
Right.
So we need to do better. The federal government needs to do better to make sure that our economy, our environment is safe for investors to come.
So once upon a time where foreigners were excited to come to Nigeria to invest, I remember one time at Abuja and Transcorp Hilton, I saw a woman, a beautiful housewife, and I asked her, I said, "Oh, how long are you staying in this hotel?" And the woman told me she's been in the hotel for 2 years. And anybody who knows Transcorp Hilton will know that it's pretty expensive. Now the truth is nobody will spend that much if you're not benefiting from the country. And this has been years ago, and I'm just here wondering if they still stayed back or she went back to her country.
Or people will want to still come to the country to stay
or
that
people
much.
will still want to come to the country. And I'm just hoping that we'll return back to our glory days where foreigners can come and do their businesses and go from point A to point B.
And not be scared of being
kidnapped. You don't have to, carry security agencies, vigilantes with you.
Nobody carries vigilantes. And now the police officers attached to VIPs have been withdrawn.
So it has to be vigilantes.
I don't know. But let's do better. Let's do better. Really, we have a lot of potentials. We have resources in this country. Many investors want to come to Nigeria to invest. We have what it takes to be the giant of Africa indeed. So the government needs to do better to make sure Nigeria is safe. And the last paper for review this morning is the Daily Sun newspaper. Major headline says 2027 Obi Atiku split ADC as LP crisis deepens. Right, would just not. I don't want to comment on that. Let's just watch.
No comment.
Let's watch how things play out till 2027. That's all we can take. Those are the headlines that we can take this morning. Do well to get yourself copies of these newspapers and read up for yourself. So many stories, so many headlines this morning across different national newspapers. Right. So get copy, read them. You can get a copy, or you can go online. It's easier now. We have e-newspapers now. Go online and read the stories for yourself. That's how we draw the curtain on Monday's edition of Morning Ride. The last edition of Morning Ride
for
Monday's edition for the year 2025.
Yes.
So when next will come on set, it will be in the year 2026. So choose let's have your last one.
Okay, so from me, on a lighter note, no pastor has come out to prophesy to tell us what 2026. And social media has it that could it be that 2026 is looking blue already?
Nobody should claim 2026. Nobody should claim it.
Nobody should claim
Let's just walk into 2026
peacefully.
Yes, and then the Lord's blessings come.
Exactly, and be positive, and of course, for me, no New Year resolution so far, because we make New Year resolutions and then February we forget. But there's one thing that I would say: learn a skill. And if you have a child, you should also teach that child a skill, or encourage. If you have a child who's talented, I don't know who I'm talking to, but learn a skill. It's going to help. When we talk about pension, you just might not be among the people who can't do without their pension. So please learn a skill in 2026. Thank you so much for being a part of our 2025. It's been amazing riding with you all. I'm Chizzy Awuna. Remember to be your neighbor's keeper.
So many words from Chizzy Awuna this morning. Well, to me, I would encourage you to be security conscious as you go about your celebrations. Be security conscious. Please, if you're going somewhere, ensure to tell someone where you are going to, and leave your location on your device. It's very important so that people your family can reach out to you should any emergency arise. All right, be security conscious. And like Jesus said, you may not have New Year resolutions, but you should have New Year realities and to realize the things you need to do in the new year. Okay, you may not say I want to start doing this, but to look at your life, take a note of how 2025 went. Look at the things that you want to improve on. Look at the things that you should do. And Jesus advised you, learn a skill. In 2026, try to learn a skill. If you have a child who's of age, teach that child one particular skill. Take that child to where that child can gain knowledge, because education is one thing, but getting your hands busy is another thing. Thank you so much for joining us today on Monday's edition of Money Right. Thank you for joining us since the beginning of the year 2025. We hope to see you in 2026, okay? So take care, and we'll see you next week, Monday. Bye for now.
Bye.